Hello everyone and welcome to my second March of the Machine traditional draft, and this is in fact my second draft. I haven't drafted any times between the first one on my channel and this one. Again, I'm still a little bit busy even though it's release week. Usually I draft a lot more, but it's now actually Friday morning when I'm drafting my second draft of the set. When the set released on Tuesday, that's actually quite uh, not normal for me. Usually I would have drafted a lot more by now. I will take the Progenitor Exarch. Incubate 3 is very decent. This is a nice drop on turn 3, turn 5, turn 7. I mean, at those mana counts, of course, not always on turn 5 are you going to be having access to 5 mana, but you get the point. The Wingspan seems decent. The Freewheeler seems very decent as well. The uncommons are good. I think this is fine. It's a vehicle, not a creature on the backside. And then there was the hasty uncommon. I didn't even check the commons, but even the best removal commons, I think, they are 1 for 1, and this is actually has good it's still good regardless of the amount of mana you have. Of course, the more you have, the stronger the effect, but this is a nice kind of a, let's say, good 5 or 7 drop that still is going to be very functioning card on turn 3. That's always a nice thing to have, and that's what X spells in general do. All right, let's just not waste time here because time is limited here. In a human draft, I do like this as a common. The refusal, yeah, I think that's good. Am I supposed to change a color? I mean, pick another color of card. Oh, there's a breeding champion. This is really good. I mean, it's probably the best blue common, one of the best commons in the set. The Vanquished Weak is nice, but this is just yeah, I'm gonna take these. The refusal is, it would be maybe a nice pick if I already have had a lot of things that can help with the convoke, and this is of course one of the cards that can give you convokers. But yeah, I think the white card or the plane cycling thing is not quite as good as this kind of a very strong 3-drop common. Quende. Creatures with first strike have a double strike. I actually don't know. I know there are some first strikers, but I don't know how often can you get those things. And this is a 4-mana 2/2 double strike by itself. It's like not amazing. It's okay. So I'm not having a big I don't think that's the pick. Search of Salvation is playable with against something else than a black or white or black or red, but I think I'd rather take. What's this? Oh, I was almost taking the Convoker until I saw this. Yeah, I was almost taking this because I already took the breeding champion. It could be some kind of a flyers deck, but I'm happy the auto selection chose this one because I somehow just didn't register this card at all. This is absolutely the pick. 3-mana 2/2 flying vigilance. A little bit small, but vigilance is interesting. And then of course, if you can get even one free token out of this, doesn't even cost any mana if you can activate it. It's just amazing. That was the easy pick, and I for some reason didn't see it until the auto selection happened there. Okay, you get a Serra Angel, but this doesn't affect the board in any way. You get your card back, but you have to tap 3 mana for this. Am I supposed to do it still? I have some flyers, it helps. Flyers are of course very good against battles, and the Serra Angel is really good. So I'm gonna take the Invasion of Dominaria here now. Let's try to just see if blue and white is open. It actually seems like it is. There's a land for that too, but what's this? Into the Fire. Yeah, this is the deal 2 damage to everything. But you have the option to, if you don't really care about that effect, for 3 mana you can at least kind of cycle this card and maybe some other cards in your hand too. Not an amazing card, and not really a reason to maybe move to another color. I think I would take the Furnace Gremlin rather than this thing if I'm gonna take a red card, but I have no reason to move to another color. Maybe I should do this thing, although this is a 1 mana 1/2 Dog Warrior, by the way. Scroll Shift. Now this is good. What's this? This is the counter spell. Oh, there's a skittering surveyor. I was almost taking the triangle cub. I'm actually still taking it. You know, skittering surveyor is really strong, but I also think that this card not costing a spell slot in your deck is just very valuable. And the scroll shift, you know, is also good with the white, especially white. You know, what's the keyword? The backup. Yeah, there's a lot of white backup cards. It's very nice with those. What's this, by the way? For 5 mana you get not so great. Of course, I'm gonna take the Brenning's Champion, but I was just wanting to read what it did. It's the 5 mana 4/4 that gets you to reuse some of your instant or sorceries. But yeah, Skittering Surveyor or with a Triangle Cup, I could see that pick happening, but I just really like the mana fixing that doesn't cost you even a spell slot, like I said already. Alright, there's a double striker, very good with the backup mechanic if this picks even one counter or even an equipment. There are some playable equipment in the set. Double striker of course becomes quite nice, and by itself it's a 1/3 double striker for 3, it's not that bad. I don't think I'm gonna take a 5 mana 4/4 here. I'll just take I mean, there are only two cards that are either blue or white. I should take one of them just to cut the colors. I don't have any reason to, move to any other color here. And of course, by the way, the Breeding Champion, that was pick 6. That was amazingly late, and I'm very happy to have that. Alright, the Whelp. Transformed permanent, am I gonna have that? Oh, I think. So 2 mana 2/1, at 3 or 4 mana you can transform this into a 3/3. Gets basically flanking if you know what it is. Kite Sail would be very good with the Billy Rider, but it doesn't actually. It's not so good when a lot of your creatures fly, and in blue and white, I will have a lot of flyers. So I take the 2-drop. Also, it's time to take a 2-drop because I need them, like every limited deck does. All right, so Eyes of Gitaxis seems like a very nice card. I wouldn't take the furtive analyst here. I think the core halberd is something I'm really interested in too. Now, for 3 mana you get a card back, and then for 2 extra mana you have a 3/3. So it is a cantripping 3/3, total of 5 mana. I actually think I still try to take the halberd because I have the Billy Rider in here. But the Eyes of Gitaxis might be, I mean, it is a stronger card, but I like the halberd more, giving what I have. For example, making your 2/2 flyer into a 3/3 flying vigilance is actually a big deal, because it might even be able to block something, and it can of course attack and block if it has vigilance. Let's take the only blue or white card in here. Search of Salvation came back, and yeah, I'm not interested in Kite Sail in a blue-white deck. He's better in like green-red, green-black decks that don't have a lot of flying creatures, because the cost and equip cost is really a lot. I think I'll take the Search of Salvation. It's very strong against black and red, and this is of course a best of 3 draft. So I don't think I'm gonna main deck it, even though the effect is not unplayable without the extra pod, but it's not really that amazing. I'll take here, of course, the squadron. Okay, so I have, well, I'm in the correct colors. I think all of these are playable. Should I take the counter spell or scroll shift? I think I'll take the scroll shift because I have 2 Breeding Champions. It's really, decent with that already. You get the free 1/1 token. I mean, it's not amazing to get basically a 1/1 token for a 3 mana and draw a card, but of course at least I hope I'm getting some backup stuff here. And of course, anything with an ETB becomes a lot better. For example, the Non's Inquisitor seems pretty good, but how can I not take the Fairy Mastermind? Yuta Takahashi, don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but I mean, a flash 2/1 flyer, and then if you have time, if you actually have mana available for this activated ability, it's good because you can, use it on your opponent's turn. You will get 2 cards, they get 1. I'm gonna take the rare here. Change the Equation is mostly a sideboard card. I wouldn't main deck this because it's so bad against non-red, non-green. Yeah, it's an easy Takahashi, I think. Invasion of Segovia. Okay, so for those who don't know, Segovia is like a tiny plane where everything is very tiny. That's why the Krakens are 1/1s, and then the Sea Tyrant is just a 3/3. That's the joke. There's a Segovian Angel, which is 1/1 flying vigilance, and the Segovian Leviathan is a very early card in the game's history, I think, and it's a 3/3 Island Walker, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the deal with the Segovia and small things. All right, am I gonna take it though? I think I can. I mean, you get 2 1/1s and then you have a 3/3 on top. Yeah, Elspeth's Might is really good though. I mean, I actually think this is better. I mean, it would be nice to take the rare here, but this is 1 mana deal 3. Especially if you have a flying deck and you want to deal with the opponents. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Opponents. I mean, when you have a lot of flyers, you do want to be able to deal with opponents' ground guys for cheap, and this is definitely something that's gonna happen. That's something that's gonna happen with this card. Now, I think I'll like this a lot, but what's this? 5 mana. Search a library graveyard. It's this one. This is one of the worst sieges or battles. You don't want to pay 5 mana to search for a card. Even if you have something amazing, some amazing options in your sideboard or in the deck, it's not worth 5 mana, and then it's 7 mana to attack it down to 0. Yeah, it's gonna be the Marshal of Sulfur. How many knights do I have here? 6, of course. Blue and white is the knight color combination. That's the easiest pick here. I'm blue-white, and it's just, even if you weren't the blue-white deck. I mean, of course, you have to be blue-white because this is a blue-white 2-drop. Yeah, so you will play this only in blue-white decks. But let's say if I didn't have a lot of knights, I would have some knights anyway. Of course, I do have now 7 out of 10 are knights, but 2 mana 2/2 that has tap ability. Even though it's expensive, it's still quite nice. Usually tappers are smaller than for the mana value what you would get. Okay, Bola Slinger. Backup. Yeah, this is decent, but I think I want to. What's this, by the way? Oh, Bolster 1. Yeah, I forgot. I mean, somehow this being like a gray made me think that it's not even a white card, but it is a white card, of course. Double white though, but still. You know, the enchantment that the aura that grants flying is actually, I have of course some ground guys here, but when your deck has some number of flyers, it's not that. I mean, it's slightly worse than in like blue-red, where you can make your big red, green, red things fly. But yeah, this is. I mean, you get free counters. You can read what the bolster does. It's in the tip there. That's what it does. Gives you free counters. Okay, Heliod must be the pick, right? Does it? 4 mana 4/4 still. Something. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take a 4 mana 4/4. I actually could use a 4-drop here. As you can see, I don't have. But yeah, it's actually not a bomb rare or anything like that. I mean, return target enchantment card from your graveyard to hand. That's not gonna even happen. And then you can transform this for very cheap, and this mostly just upgrades into a 4/6 from a 4/4. But oh, you get the flash option. Okay, it is quite decent there. Actually, I kind of didn't realize it's the flash thing. This is no. I'm gonna take Eyes of Gitaxias now. Yeah, this is exactly my second draft, so that's the reason I'm so slow in here. Oculus Whelp. Don't have a lot of transform permanents. Tawashi thing. This is a very slow way to draw some cards, but it's 5 mana. Well, basically, it's a 7 mana 4/4 draw a card. But I think I like the Oculus Whelp more. I think this is maybe not what I want to be doing here. I don't have a lot of Phyrexian or Incubation, let's say. Okay, now look at these. My colors are definitely open. Who is not picking this card? Okay, this is not a bomb rare. It's good, but it's a very restrictive mana cost, of course, and I'm not gonna splash for it. But I think I'm gonna take this guy now. I could take another of these 2-drops though. But I think it's time to take the Plane Cycler here. Fairy Gem, okay. Moment of Truth, yeah, that's a 2-mana cantrip. Another Whelp. I don't need a 3-drop actually. I also don't have a lot of Convoke, but I suppose I don't have to worry about it. I'll take the Whelp here, but I don't necessarily want to play multiple of those, but not really a lot of options there. Yeah, the Dispersal is probably the interaction I need, because what I don't have a lot of here in this among these cards is interaction. I could take the Trick, but I think I'll take the Bounce Spell more. I like the Bounce Spell more. Okay, no one took this. Not a surprise. It's not really a good card. Now a 4/3 for 5 that incubates a 3 when it dies. Well, this invasion is just unplayable, so I'm gonna take this card. All right, sideboard negate or an aerial boost. I think I should take the one pump spell here. Oh, and I got the Sunday the Gateway, so this is actually quite nice because it's a 2-mana 2/2. You can choose the second option, and you will just get a 2-mana 2/2, which is a 2-drop, which I still need here. And then of course sometimes you get a 2-for-1 with the card. All right, one more pack. So again, it seems like I got the correct colors here. I have very a large number of playables here for my colors. All right, this is really well. Actually, for limited, you don't usually necessarily get the legendary creatures out of this, but Vigilance and Haste in some cases is quite nice, but of course not for my deck. This is really good, this Aerialist, but so is the Inquisitor. But I mean, you just get free cards. Oh, one free card, I mean. For a 2-mana 2/1 flyer, I really like the Inquisitor, but I actually am taking the flyer here. I hate to pass. I have passed 2 of those Inquisitors, but I mean 2 mana for a 1/1 and incubate 3. That's just very good. Oh well. Anyway, I could now take a Skittering Surveyor, Scroll Shift. I think I have one. I don't really need to play multiples, I don't think. There's a Temporal Cleansing though. A little bit of more interaction. I won't take another Halberd. I think the decision is between... You could even take this for a defensive thing, but maybe it is time to actually take the Skittering Surveyor. Make sure I have the mana available. Baral, yeah, basically makes your instant and sorceries cheaper, but I don't have... Well, I have some number of them, but I just don't know how likely am I to play them. 2 mana 1/3, this is most often, and I don't have any counter spells. Dispersal number 2 though, or Sigil Sentinel. I do like the backup 3-drop, but I have a lot of 3s, I don't necessarily need it. It is very decent with the double striker, but I like the interaction here. I think I can still take another. This bounce spell is also better in this format than in general, because you can bounce massive incubator tokens when they are turned into creatures, and they of course won't be coming back. Change the equation. Well, sideboard card 2/2 lifelinker, a counter spell, and this thing which is a 8-mana card, but it has convoke. This is a crazy good bomb, because as you can see, you just get a free card out of it, and you can convoke this. You might be just play like 5 mana. At most 6. So am I gonna take the 2-drop lifelinker or a sideboard card? I'm gonna take the 2-drop lifelinker instead. Phyrexian Sensor. 3 mana 3/3, and then more than 1/9. I mean, I have a bunch of non-Phyrexians. I have 13 creatures that are not Phyrexians plus all this. This is gonna be hurting me as much as the opponent. Okay, well, there's a Realm Breaker's Grasp. This is, a pacifism. Definitely gonna be the pick here now. Yeah, you can even target your opponent's big creatures with this to actually make them trade in combat, but let's take the grasp here. Okay, I got an Inquisitor. Is this gonna be my third past Inquisitor, or do I take the rough? Instant sorcery tap onto untapped. Oh man. I mean, this is really good, of course. I will play some number of instant sorceries. And there's the activated ability at 5, which is really good too. But I'm actually taking the Inquisitor here. I will have... I don't have a lot of directions, but as long as this thing is alive when I transform the token, it's gonna be a 3-3. I'm taking that. Alright, Convoke to draw some cards. I don't think I need the Inspired Charge for this deck. I'm gonna take this, probably not gonna play it though, but it's maybe more likely to put in. Convoke 3 to... don't think I like it. I'll take this trick instead. Tetsuko Umezawa, Scroll Shift, Lookout. 8 or more cards in there. Oh, this is just a blocker here. I'm gonna take the 2 mana 1-3 if I want to have more 2-drops. And another Convoke Flyer. Or the Cleansing or the Scroll Shift. Not gonna be the Scroll Shift. Maybe I just should take the Squadron number 2. Or this thing, I don't know. I try the Flyer here. Just a crazy amount of playables, like it was in the first draft as well. Which is a good thing. That means you know move to the correct colors. Although I didn't really move much. I just took blue and white cards, and that happened to be open. All right, I'll take the uncommon. I'm not gonna play 2 halberds, so uncommon for world value. And I got this sideboard card back. And there's a sensor here, flywheel razor. I don't think I need this thing. I'll take the sensor, but I don't really think I can play it. I mean, because the other 3-drops I have are better for my deck. So a couple of very decent sideboard cards. Although they changed the equation, I don't think it's really good against anything else than exactly red and green decks. Because if someone is like, let's say, a white-red, a lot of their spells are gonna be white, and then you have to catch a 2 mana spell or cheaper. Which is not impossible because all the limited decks should have, a decent amount of cheap spells, 1 and 2 mana spells, and maybe some 1 mana spells. But it's still a little bit awkward to have mana up for this and then not be able to counter anything. So I think I will only sideboard this against decks that are both red and green, or mono green or mono red works as well. This might be worth sideboarding in against decks that are just black or red without necessarily being black and red. Alright. Yeah. That is 36 cards, and I think this time I don't have any mana producers, so I might actually play 17 lands, but how many transformed permanents can I have here? Okay, that Invasion of New Capenna is actually not supposed to be here, so I guess it was 35 cards, not 36. How many enchantments I will have here? Only the 1, so this can only peak. So enchantment card, that's not a god, so that is basically the Realm Breaker's Grasp. If that somehow ends up in my graveyard. I don't have a looting here, but I guess opponent can sacrifice their thing that has this, or something like that. But yeah, mostly this is a 4 mana 4/4, which is decent, and then if you transform this, you may cast any spells as though they had flash. That's actually quite nice. Opponent will have difficulties maybe attacking into open mana and me having cards in hand. Although my creatures aren't that big, but still. You also get to discount your spells by 1 on your opponent's turn, because they will have flash and they will have at least 1 cost reduction there, because they drew a card on the return. So yeah, I think this is definitely better than the average 4 mana 4/4, but maybe not like that much better. You still have to pay more mana to transform it. But you do get the 2 additional points of toughness as well. Now, Oh, this is actually a land. And if I'm gonna play the Skittering Surveyor, that's a land too. So maybe I could play 16 because I have mostly cheap cards in here. Alright, let's see now what's the creature curve here. There's so many cards here though. This is very difficult to cut. Okay, this is at least a 3-drop. Ideally a 5-drop, let's say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm gonna cut Tetsuko Umezawa. A lot of my guys have some evasion already. I mean, they're flyers, so their ability might not do much, and it has the requirement of having one or power of or one power or toughness. The Cryptomancer can go away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 2-mana creatures. And then I'm going to... Oh, this is one as well. Remember, this is non-token artifact, so you can't kill their incubator creatures or the tokens. I'm going to cut the Shapecraft from the main deck. I want to try the Eyes of Gitaxias. I don't think I'm gonna play the Meeting of Minds, at least not in the main deck. I wanna try the Halberd. I wanna have some tricks, so I'm gonna play the booster. As you can see, that's a lot of creatures in here. 21. Most of the cuts should be creatures. Any easy cuts in here? I will play the Invasion of Dominaria because I have a nice amount of flyers that allows me to beat this battle maybe somewhat easily. Sensor isn't supposed to be here, yep. Should I play both whelps here? I think I could maybe play just one here. I won't have a lot of transformed permanents. I will have some, I can transform this thing, I can transform this thing. I can transform this, or cast it transformed rather. Yeah, this has a chance to get the ability, but 4-mana 3/2 flyer. I think I'm going to cut one of them. I could choose to not play this, but I think I want to play some more expensive cards. This also could be a 3-drop, and this can be cycled for a planes. This is gonna be, not often gonna be a 6-mana spell. It's gonna be like a 5 or 4-mana more often. Well, Eyes of Gitaxias. Am I supposed to just not play that card? Am I supposed to not play the Scroll Shift? So let's see the synergy for the Scroll Shift. This one. Another. I guess this. Yeah, this is. You can flicker something. You get the bolster again. That's like 2. I guess 3, but it's not so great with the. I mean, this is gonna give me a 1/1. This is gonna be another land. Not such an amazing synergy, I guess. This creature only, right? No, artifact, creature, or enchantment. Oh, it's not. So I can even, if I for some reason want to get the card again, I can do it. No, this is not. Sorry, it's not battle. It's not. It's so easy to kind of think these are enchantments because they feel like, at least to me, they feel like enchantments, but it's not. So no, it doesn't work for battles. But okay, I don't actually have that much energy. I'm going to cut the Scroll Shift here. And then the Eyes of Gitaxias, maybe it's just not what I need here. I will cut that as well. Now 3 more cuts. Man, it just seems like I don't necessarily need the Skittering Surveyor here. I have this one plane cycling thing. So if I cut this, that's still a nice amount of 3-mana plays, 4 creatures and the invasion. Should I cut one of these 2-drops? What's the weakest one? This seems like a not so great, but it is a knight for the sulfur thing. And any 2-drop here is important for my convokers. I don't want to miss out on a 2-drop. Okay, this thing is a sideboard card. Let's say, because if this is only a 2-mana 2/2, nothing else really, unless I happen to have the Inquisitor, in which case it would be a 3-mana, a 2-mana 3-3. But yeah, if I don't know the opponent has targets for it, okay, I'm gonna cut it. I have to do some cuts. This is still 7 mana, so not 7 mana, 7 2-mana plays. And I guess that's one more cut. I'm close to done here. So do I want to play both the squadrons? I feel like I do actually. I do. With double preening champions, the Convokers seem very nice. This is a nice defensive play. I can trade with something and then I can trade again with the incubator token while I'm, dealing damage in the air. I guess I could just have, one of these bounce spells. Okay, I'm gonna have one of these bounce spells only. I have only these few points of interaction, but at least I have ability to attack in the air. So all I need to do is kind of have defenses in the ground and hope that the opponent doesn't have a crazy amount of bombs. But this is gonna be the deck. I will play only 24. 16 lands because this, is basically the 17th land when I have access to 2. And I'm not gonna really keep hands that don't have, 2 lands. This doesn't get me an island, but I guess I'm just gonna play an 8/8 mana base regardless. I won't be able to play this on turn 2 always because of that. But I don't think 7 islands is playable when I have these, 2 and 3 mana plays that require blue mana. I'm still thinking that maybe I should consider not playing the Whelp and just play another copy of the Dispersal after all. Does that make sense? I think it might make sense. I have these, I kind of hope these to be 4 drops. When I play a 2 mana creature, 3 mana creature, this is a 4 mana play in that case. I think I maybe should have the interaction after all. So let's take the Dispersal exactly back and let's cut the Whelp. I will still have a lot of creatures. Alright, so this is the deck. Oh, I have a Tranquil Cub here. That's nice. I forgot. So this helps me with the mana better. So I can play now as 8/7. And that is still going to be 8 ways to get the blue mana. And an additional way to get the white mana now, thanks to the dual land. Alright. It feels very insane to not play a Skithering Surveyor, but I just think I don't need it. I can play most of my spells with 3 mana anyway, and it is just at 1/2. It doesn't affect the combat math that much. Yeah, that's the deck. Okay, no white mana, but 2-drop and 3-drop in here. Oh, by the way, the Billy Rider is here. Maybe this was a cuttable 3-drop. Because I don't have a lot of synergy for it, actually. Yeah, this might actually be a card I don't need to play in this deck. I wonder if I'm gonna get the 4 mana. Okay, well there was the one planes already that has flash. The 4 mana 2 double caster, but I guess there's a higher chance for that now because I did draw 1 planes already. So that is a lifelinker. That's not a bad 1-drop because you will get an incubator from it. Okay, that's gonna give me a planes if I really want to. I'd rather play this as a creature though. I guess this is a 2-power creature, and if they have removal, I'd rather them kill this Billy Rider maybe. Okay, if they play something with 3 toughness, it can't attack. Okay, let's have the Vigilance Flyer. They can't attack into this either. I'm just thinking that if they have a removal spell, then it's a little bit awkward. It's also possible I just, won't play a spell on the next turn. I wanna draw a card unless I really draw, a place. Wait a second. Look at the cards in the opponent's deck. They just attacked into this thing. They wanted to incubate. But the point is they're playing more than 60 cards. They're playing all the cards. Alright, well, that's a thing they can do. That's a knight. Well, that's a reason to actually... I'm almost getting a free thing with this. If I'm gonna get the planes with this, next turn I could play this and this. This is any 2 spells, right? I don't need that. I'm just gonna go with this. This is such a strong card when you can cast it anyway. And this is gonna make this into a 2-4. But yeah, so and they're playing also the Realm Breaker in the Invasion tree. I mill 3 cards, they get a land. The 10 mana ability doesn't do anything. I mean, not like they're gonna have... Well, I guess it can do something, but I don't think this really... I mean, I'm playing against someone who has more than 60 card in their limited deck, so I don't think this is really scary, but who knows, maybe I'll lose anyway. Let's play this because I have a bunch of knights in here actually. I mean, I guess I could take the planes, but I'm gonna wait for a bit because I could of course cast these on the next turn. Did I mill, by the way, if I mill the enchantment, the aura, the one thing I have. But this doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm winning. Look, the opponent hasn't done anything really to affect the board, so I mean, I guess they can transform this, and you can transform these at instant speed. So something to keep in mind. They can have a 2/2 creature if they have 2 1 up, but of course they are just dying here, so I can bounce that thing. So they even do that on their own turn. Okay, so this is like a non-game, could be a non-match too. Let's just bounce that. Yeah, I'm gonna get these things milled anyway, but I mean the opponent is dying before that happens. So. Okay. Well, that's what sometimes happens in these traditional drafts. There's no ranked matchmaking or anything. These are totally unranked, and sometimes you just face an opponent that is clearly, you know, new to limited. You should never play more than 40 cards, unless you have a Yorion as a you know, companion, which makes it possible to play 60. But this opponent doesn't. So sideboarding, I don't really think I need anything here. It's very hard to sideboard against 60 card decks because you can't really count on them drawing the cards again you saw. And it's not like I saw anything that makes me want to change my deck layout in any way. Not great, but I do have this trope knight, which might give me... Oh, they let me even go first. Alright, I didn't even pay attention to that. So I'm playing, of course, a little bit softer, given that the opponent has 65 cards in their deck. And I got the knight here now. I guess all of these are 3 mana spells, so not so great for curving out, but at least I got to draw a spell, another land, when I kept the 5-lander. And the amount of colors they have, I think I saw 3 colors that didn't have green in the first game. But do they still have a 2 mana play? So they're actually playing all the cards, right? Let's play this one. Counterspell. Now, I don't want them to counter my creatures because the creatures can, you know, pay the convoke. Although I suppose I do have 5 lands here anyway, so... Oh, come on up. So they just burned this card. It only becomes a 4/4 for 1 turn. Okay, what's this? When it dies, it mills 2, then they can put a creature or battler on top of their library. Well, the thing is, I don't want this knight to die, but I guess... Well, I don't need to offer a trade here. Why would I do that? I'm just gonna play this, and then on the next turn I can convoke the squadron. I know I could convoke it regardless, but maybe I get some, you know, free tokens here. Yeah, trading here just doesn't do anything for me. There's no need for that. If I draw a 2-drop, I can bounce and make a token. Okay, there's the Realm Breaker. I guess this can mill me out in the end. So now what I can do... I can't double spell. So I'm gonna just attack here and convoke the squadron. So if they're gonna start using 2 mana for this thing, yeah, the lands that they get will be tapped. Okay, they had Vanquish the Weak. That was a decent card for them. So now, well, I guess I'm just waiting to draw a spell so I can start. I can make one free guy and bounce this Guerrilla here. And they are stuck at 4 lands, so them having to recast the 2/2 is quite nice. Oh, I'm almost getting to flip this thing right away. But let's first just do this. And then I will, because this has vigilance, so I can do like this, attack here, bounce this guy for my 3 mana. And I might, okay, I don't need this. I can take the other bounce spell, I think. Yeah, it makes sense. Also the Swirl 2 is nice. Oh, they're gonna mill it though. I mean, if they draw, well, it depends on if they have a mana for the milling. Because this is gonna cost 3, this is gonna cost 2. Okay, now they can mill and, you know, play it 2/2. But I'm getting my Serra Angel here. So I think I should be in a decent shape. Okay, the Stasis Field in there. Well, okay. I'm still getting my Serra Angel. And they even chose to mill me rather than you know, play the creature. And okay, I drew a land. So let's deal with that, and then I hope I don't get flooded out, because it's like a small chance for, if they have more interaction, they can kill the 4/4. They can mill me out if I have this. I guess it's still 4 damage per turn, although this can trade. This also mills me. It would be very funny to lose here, but it's possible if I keep hitting lands. I have only 1 land in the graveyard, 16 in the deck, 9 here, so 10. I guess there are 6 lands left in the deck and 16 spells, so I should be drawing most of the spells. There is of course a chance they do have the 10 mana activation do something. Praetor cards. Okay, come on. That was another 3 non-lands they got out of me. Wow. If I'm gonna draw a land, that's gonna be nasty. But at least they didn't deal with the Serra. Okay, that's a weird spell to play as the last. I mean, why wouldn't they start with the Moment of Truth? There's like no reason to... If they're gonna play this on this turn anyway, I guess they wanted to see information. You could maybe first use this activation to get some information, but definitely you should play the Moment of Truth before committing to the Fleeting Guerrilla, because of course you could just play this after the moment anyway. But okay, so I did not get, in fact, to draw another land here, so then getting these mills doesn't hurt me that much. And a creature an opponent controls, sure. Let's say that the Guerrilla isn't gonna block anything right now, and they take now 8, which is half their life total, so I think I should be good now. I'm not worried about getting milled out anymore. They don't have time for that. They might kill the Intercessor, and that's gonna give them the 2/2 back, but they also need to get rid of the Serra Faithkeeper, and it's not like they can take the damage from the Knight and the Billy Rudder either. By the way, in the previous game I said I saw 3 colors, but one of them had to be like mine. Well, I know they are definitely playing black, green and blue. Hollow Forager gets to... They can play some of my spells. Or their own. It doesn't actually mean any spell in any graveyard. And they are gonna choose the bounce spell, which is gonna bounce... No, they chose not to cast it. Oh man. Oh, opponent. They somehow misclicked, because I think they had the dispersal there. They chose not to cast it. Okay. So now they do have to block the Faith Keeper. If they don't, they will take in too much damage. So this is now lethal attack. Okay. Well, I mean, this wasn't really an exciting match, but I guess I was at least able to showcase what exactly. Not really, just curving out when the opponent doesn't. You win the games, I guess. That's the lesson in there. Yeah, bringing champions. I'm keeping this. I have a 2 mana play, I have a 2 mana trick. And then if I draw any land, I can cast both of these champions. This is an easy keep. And that's not even such a bad one, because this will get me those tokens that I can use to help cast this guy. So this is the one that transforms into a 3/3 creature that basically has flanking. Anything that blocks that thing will be getting -1/-1. Let's see, this opponent is actually playing 40 cards, but 3 different colors already. Okay, so this thing gives them a Vigilance Knight and then a Glorious Anthem. I don't like that. I really don't like blocking here, but I have to. I'm actually slightly surprised they chose to attack here, because they can transform. I guess they just have spells they aren't gonna cast instead of transforming this, but I'm not gonna let them get the invasion. I did get the 3rd land and also the 4th land, so that's nice. And this, sadly, none of these are white, so I can't actually use this Convoke trick with this. The token is blue and red, not white, so I can't pay for the white with Convoking. But what I can do is just, I suppose, I can take 2 damage here if I want to. Just not sure if I do. Let's see, if I don't block here, I play a land and a Bringing Champion, 4 creatures with 1 leftover mana. I cannot sadly Convoke this after such a play, so I'm going to just make this happen. Let them use a trick if they want to. Okay, no. So that's a defender for now, but it's very soon not a defender, so it's going to be a 3/3. When this transforms into the thing, okay, well, if it's not a land, it has to be something very cheap. They are stuck at 3 as well. Okay, so here I will have now the Convoke up. That's good. So because I can pay the white mana and then just tap one of my creatures for the Convoke. So I can now have a little bit of trick backup. So they get do they get the land here? They don't, so they actually are gonna miss out on this thing. They are stuck at 3 still. And here what I can do is just do this and then do this. And this is all fine. They are not gonna get this thing flipped. Now I still have difficulties Convoking my stuff, but opponent doesn't have anything, and I'm gonna draw a land at some point. I'm not gonna play 1 mana this thing. Let's try to get our Serra Angel. They get there. Oh, this is, they have a, I somehow thought it's gonna be only 1 until the end of your next turn. Ah, this is much better now, because there are, in this set there are cards I think that say you have only that turn to play it. with this ability. But of course that was a 5-drop, so even the land didn't help them there. But interestingly though, they actually didn't play anything. So I guess it just means that they have an instant speed thing. Maybe they killed that breeding champion or something. I have 2 plays here anyway, so I'm very happy. Oh, they actually... What's the instant speed effect they're gonna have here? The card draw. There's a 4 mana instant draws too. Okay, so now I can either transform this or I can play the Mastermind. If they're gonna play... Oh, they played nothing. Are they gonna have a mass removal effect here? I'm not... Oh man, this is... Is that gonna be the rat effect that is in the set? There's a... I think it's a white rat effect for 5 mana that incubates a token based on the number of creatures that died. I'm just going to do this instead of the Mastermind. I will save some cards in my hand because I'm of course very scared about having an opponent that has access to 4 mana, 3 different colors, 5 cards in hand. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that they have no place. I'm gonna use these for this. I wanna, transform this regardless of them maybe having the rat or not. And then, because they might kill one of these, so I want them to be able to kill both of those. And then I'm gonna attack for 3 there. And then I have to be very... Okay, they just bounced that thing. That's fine. That is totally acceptable. They're gonna surveil away the core halberd, but the other cards they kept. Okay, are they gonna have a counter spell? I guess I see now. Okay, no counter spell. I'm just gonna play the defector, because this will incubate into 3 if they rat it. And they, I guess, need a planes if they have a rat in their hand. Just the Storm Sculptor. This makes 2 tokens and... Okay, so how do I do this thing? I'm not sure if I'm supposed to play around with rat or not. I'm gonna attack, of course, for a lot of damage, that's for sure. This thing does have vigilance, it is a Serra Angel, basically. Okay, so what I can do now, I have 5 mana, 2 untapped creatures. Could do the exact thing, although I might wait until it's 7 mana. I'll just play the... Tap this guy and then do this. Okay, no second white, although it seems to be... Okay, what's this invasion? Up to 2 target creatures get +2/+0 and vigilance and haste. Then they get those 2 tokens if they get to cast it. They want to have the anthem. Okay, well they wanna really... I mean, I'm just doing this and this, why wouldn't I? I can trade here, my flyer on that thing. I have enough damage here. I mean, this is just lethal attack, isn't it? Yeah, I don't... Yeah, that was like... I don't even know what... Oh, it was so weird that they were stuck at 3 lands, and then when they got the 4th mana, they actually had no spells. I guess they had the dispersal. Yeah, I don't know. And it seems like they are splashing for red, the Storm Sculptor, because they do have white here as, white and blue as 2 drops. Maybe they are splashing for this, and I assume also splashing for some red removal too. They are splashing for this. I guess this is splashable. Or maybe there are 3 even colors. But yeah, and they're playing also this thingy. I don't know. I don't know about what's the sideboarding. That's what I'm trying to say here. So I'm gonna play the bounce spells. I don't think anything here is bad. So blue-white, there's no reason to sideboard the salvation thing. I don't think. Did I see anything for the gateway? Not exactly. These are not enchantments or artifacts, so fine, let's use the same deck. Yep, I have enough playables here, even though lacking the blue mana I can play this and this, and of course if I get to untap with this guy, I'm starting to get. You always get, you choose the creature with least toughness and that's gonna get the +1/+1 counter. So you don't get to choose unless you have multiple ones which have the least toughness, but a free counter is a free counter. So for example, the Inquisitor becomes a 2/2 once I play it. That's great. I'll definitely take the 2 in here. I can let them have some life. Oh, they are just... Okay, this is a really good one, but Elspeth's Smite can deal with that. And I can even have mana up for it. Let's play the Inquisitor first. And then, because I'm not gonna block with that thing, I'm gonna attack here. If I'm lucky, they block. And I can use the Smite. Prowess. If they use mana, it's gonna be a double prowess. I kinda hope they tap out for this transformation, which they don't. But that's also fine, because they are tapped out now too. Unless they have a 1 mana spell. I'm going to try this first. They did it. Good. And now I could trade here, but as long as I have this on the battlefield, this becomes into a bigger creature, so I shouldn't trade yet. A little awkward here. This doesn't enter on the the battlefield if I transform it, so I'm not getting a counter right now. I think I'm going to, well, I can make this into a 3/3 because it's a huge difference if it's a 3/3 or not. So I'm gonna want to do it now, and then I can actually attack here because I don't mind trading with the Sentinel anymore. That's fine if they block and trade. And now all I need is blue mana. Okay, that's gonna give double strike to this. I'm gonna take 6 and they're gonna gain 6, but I mean I'm gonna try to, I have more cards than they, so, and even double blocking doesn't help killing this, so there's no way I'm gonna jump here either. That's not a blue. If I draw an island with this thing, that would be fantastic. Come on. I did not. That thing has double strike, but I guess I can attack now. I can't. Yeah, that double strike is a problem. Do I actually have to lose? No, I mean, I'm getting a Serra Angel here, but I'm losing my trick and the creature if I attack there and they block. But I'm taking 6 here. Maybe I must just... This does keep flying though. Yeah, it does keep flying. Let's do it. Kind of forgot. So I'm gonna just get, I'm gonna use the aerial boost to get my Serra Angel. That's basically what's gonna happen. And then I can have a 4/4 to block with even the Scald. And I get the bolster here too. So, yeah, if they attack with the Scald thing, I'm gonna block here. Sadly, they had. But I can still block the another 3/3 there. They get a... Oh, okay, no, they're gonna get a... So if I don't block... Okay, so... Yeah, I can't... I can, jump this for now to not give them a Glorious Anthem. Or Belladon War Anthem. That was one island there. I have a bunch of islands left. So This becoming a 4-3 double striker is annoying, but it's nothing I can help. I mean, he's gonna flip at some point anyway. There's no point blocking this guy. I mean, this is gonna flip if I don't jump here. I guess this one or the 4 toughness creature can block the 3-3 knight. So I'm gonna let them have their anthem there. I just hope to draw the, you know, island so I can actually, because every creature I play is gonna bolster me. That's sadly, oh, that's so nasty because it is, it's just the planes. Alright, that's bad. Oh my, that was the worst draw. I guess another blue spell would have been bad too. Ah, that's a shame because I really wanted to bolster here. It's important to be able to trade with this thing, but I can't. I mean, I can double block it, but I'm gonna lose my offense. Yep. Lack of, I mean, I never drew the island here, which is now hurting me a lot, of course. Did they draw an Axel spell there? Oh. Well, okay then. That was a good draw. And I still don't have a blue. Yeah, I mean, this is just not gonna work. I have no castables here because of lack of island, so let's just go to next game. And did I see now? I saw a disturbing conversion. I guess they might have the pacifism, and this thing is also an enchantment. You know, it's a siege on the front side. The back side is an enchantment, so I should definitely play the Sund, the gateway. How about the siege? What's it? Siege? So no, Search of Salvation. Prevent damage that black and or red sources would deal to creatures you control. That doesn't prevent damage to me, but it makes, you know, blocking this thing you know, better, and it does counter this, and it does also counter, of course, the dispersal, isn't it? Yeah, hexproof. So it counters any removal, and then against the red things it, you know, does something. But first let's cut something because I had the Sunder the gateway here. What is my worst? I guess it could be the 2. Is this a knight, by the way? Oh, Phyrexian cleric. I guess I can cut the lifelinker here. I got the other 2-drop. I like my other 2-drops more. Oh, and I can cut the Billy Rider actually. I'm actually going to cut it, and I'm gonna play the Search of Salvation, which has some utility here. Anything else? I don't think I need anything else. This is fine. Let's see if they again get all the basic lands by turn 3, because I think they did achieve that in both earlier games. While I was, you know, playing 2 colors, not getting the island ever. What's this? Alright, this is a fine hand though. Don't mind mulliganing. I have double white spells in here, so I definitely should cut an island here. And also play the planes, just in case I happen to play the bolster, draw the bolster card, which is a double white. I did not, but I can do this. I can play the Exarch on turn 3, no problem. And then I can use this to tap it. You know, I mean, tap this to not use a 2 mana. Preening Champion though, that's what I'm gonna do instead. I could attack, it's fairly safe, but maybe not worth it. They're gonna block anyway. And that is a knight, so it's actually gonna be boosted. Boosted in there. Okay, they did get, at least they have mana fixing, but that's a, you know, good set of draws. I mean good set of, you know, mana land draws. Right, so just play the Squadron right, which is also a knight, so it's gonna be a big flyer here now, thanks to my uncommon 4/5 flyer here. That is 7 in the air unless they have some kind of an interaction here. And even if they do, I have at least a 3 in the air. This is the knight that makes another knight. Okay, there is this guy now. That's not bad at all. And I can use a tapper, which is interesting, because I don't actually have any use for the two, you know, I can leave blue and white untapped here now. Bolster is only gonna bolster the elemental, but it's fine. Now they are gonna attack with the 2/2s, probably with the spell spear as well. Let's see if they transform this thing. They have a lot of damage, but then again, so do I. 7 in the air is no joke, and I can definitely take. Okay, so that is whenever they cast a non-creature spell, they get incubators. That is really good. Also, it is. Okay, so they did that pre-combat, so now I know I have to. I mean, I would have tapped this guy otherwise, but now I can just tap this. So I think that was a mistake doing this pre-combat. They wanted to, you know, prowess this thing, but I think that was a mistake because now I can, you know, tap just a Seed Shark here instead. They don't even attack with the Vigilant Knights. Did they forget it has Vigilance? Wow. I mean, those things have Vigilance. They could have just attacked with them. Now, bolster is gonna bolster this one toughness creature, so let's make them go to 4 here, and then just play the Defector, I believe. It is actually a Phyrexian Knight, so it is a 5/4. Okay, that's a double strike, but what they need is a flying blocker. They are losing on the next turn. Unless they somehow get to deal 17 right now, which they are not able to do. Okay, I think I won. I'm just gonna go for it. Yep, that's it. Yep, nice. Marshal of Sulfur, because it was relevant in boosting both of my flyers, making my clock faster, and also tapping their flying blocker. That was great. And I think I actually have to yeah, I don't think I have time for the third match. I mean, it's not like it matters for you, but I have to actually go to work now, and because I'm recording this on the morning, I didn't have time on the previous night, but it also means this won't be published quite as soon as I wanted. But yeah, I will play the third match later. But for you, of course, you will see it in a second. Anyway, that was the first 2 matches now. I'm liking this deck. I'll just have to have my work day in between these matches. Alright, I will see you in a second. And I'm back. Let's continue. Yep, that's a fine hand. I am on the draw, but the opponent mulliganed. I have a couple of 2-drops here, and well, a lot of playable spells, even if I don't. Well, let's see, I do need a 3rd mana now, but after that it doesn't matter too much what I'm gonna draw. Okay, so this thing transforms into this guy that yeah, makes me sack a creature. So I think I'm supposed to just block with the Faria Mastermind, I believe. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I will decide. Especially if they do, you know, transform this guy, it will be a 3/2. Because once this is transformed, yeah, I don't wanna. I will just steamly block that guy. So that I know I could have used the dispersal there, but it doesn't actually make too much sense. I just want to get rid of this, not you know, sacrifice an additional creature. Okay, this could get me a plains, but then I can't cast this thing. But I think it's more important to get the land going on. It's not like the aerialist. Well, I guess it is a 2/1 flyer, of course, so it can start attacking, but I'd rather hit my land drops than not. So let's do that. Okay, this is a menace 4/3. If they do play a land is good, definitely. If they do play you know, a battle, they can pretty much defeat it because it will be 8 power menace creature. So am I gonna play the grasp here or not? Now sadly I can't play the aerialist and then, you know, leave this mana up here, because I have only one blue available. So if they play a battle, they are gonna be able to immediately flip it. It's a bit risky. But I don't have a lot of options here. I mean, I have the grasp here. I believe I might just want to deal with this guy anyway with the grasp, you know. Because it won't be that easy to block it in the end. So let's just do this. Just make sure that they don't get any free battle value immediately, in case they are holding one. But definitely if I had a you know, double blue available, I would have just played the aerialist and then have mana up for the dispersal. Okay, they have a third color. Okay, this is a decent one once I draw my fifth land. So now I have 4 mana. This is... well, it's the most mana efficient if I just do this, and I still have the dispersal up because it's a 1 mana spell if I target an attacking creature, so it should be pretty safe here. Yeah, I think I'm going to... yeah, this can still participate in Convoke. I'm gonna bounce this and Surveil too. I'm gonna keep a land if I see one. I don't think I need 2 lands. No, I can play the Squadron with Convoke. So let's just draw 1 land here. And I'm gonna probably face this Convoke Hasty Flyer, but it's fine because I can have a couple of these incubator tokens. They have, you know, 3 counters, so I can actually attack for quite a lot of damage. I can win this race, by the way. If they tap out for this and attack, I'm going to 17 life, and then I'm going to attack for a lot of damage back. So it's not actually that great for them. They might even ignore playing this now if they have some other options, and of course they do hold 4 other cards in their hand, so it shouldn't be too hard for them to find a play. But they decide to do that. How about they won't be blocking with it? I mean, I would just bounce it if they wanted to try it. So now let's see what I'm gonna do. I can use 2 mana to transform one of these, and then I can use this tap ability to transform the other one. I would have 3 mana left, which is enough for the aerialist, and then I can have mana for the dispersal. Alternatively, I can transform one of these. I like hitting a lot of damage here though, so what I could do, of course, please play the Convoke Flyer, but it's not even that great against the 4/4 Flyer. I mean, it's actually quite bad against it. So I'd rather do this. Attack for, you know, this is actually 8 points of damage, and then just play these. They go down to 8, and I'm not even, I mean, they're not really in a position to even attack with the Flyer. But sadly for them, I can still bounce it to clear away for my attackers here. And this will become a 2/4 Flyer, but it doesn't actually add to the clock, but it does, of course, get me a card when I transform it. Oh, they are gonna go for the attack. Well, okay, let me see. I feel like I should take the 4 here. No blocks there. I know I could use the dispersal now and you know, surveil, but I have a place available for the next turn regardless. They seem to have a play too. So, I think I'm just supposed to attack with most of my guys. I mean, I don't mind trading with these 2/2s. I'm gonna hit 2 in the air. Of course, this I won't be attacking with this 1/2 because they can just freely block it. I have the smite available. This shouldn't be, you know, too difficult. They seem to be holding some kind of an instant because they didn't immediately go to the blockers there. That's all fine. I can get rid of this 2/2 here, and I'm totally fine with this outcome. I know I have the smite, but they have some kind of trick here, so I'm not gonna use the smite here now. Okay, that's fine. That is totally fine, and let's see what the trick is gonna be. Destroy target artifact. Okay, so there you're gonna use that on that, which means I'm going to just kill this guy now that they're tapped out. And then, of course, I can still play the Squadron because I can use the Exarch for convoking purposes. like this. And now I can of course bounce the burner here. So they are not really they are not in a good shape. That's gonna get -4. It's yep, 5 mana -4. Surveil 2 when the thing dies. Okay, there are some lands. Now they can't attack, and I will simply bounce that, and that will be lethal. I don't have to show the Marshal of Zalfir there. I guess they could have had something for 1 mana, like their own Elspeth's. What is that, Smite? Yeah, it would have been safer to actually play the Marshal there, because I had knights. The double striker is a knight, and this thing is a knight. If they had a Elspeth Smite there, yeah, they would have survived now. And they had the mana for it, as you can see. What did I see? So this is also a 3 colors, but the black has to be some kind of a splash. I guess it's like the failed conversion that's getting splashed, and maybe I'm assuming something else too. Yeah, well, I suppose this Phyrexian mana can be paid for black without, using 2 life, but that's usually not a reason to splash a color. So this is one. I guess there's gonna be some black removal. They do have the fixing, the Surveyor here, the Bloodfell Caves. I'm very eager to comment on the opponent's mana base if you haven't noticed. It's just because it's so important part of Limited to have a consistent mana base. And whenever you see a 3rd color, whenever you're playing a 3rd color, you really want to have good enablers for that. Just, like 7/7/3 mana base with basic lands is quite horrible. Okay, so I saw things that make this one good, right? Yeah, because they are red, and they might have something black. But yeah, these red cards, they have the dragon, and yeah, that's a lot of things that make this actually a good card. Also, the permanents gain hexproof, counters a removal spell of any color. So let's do that. And do I care about something like not gonna play the counter spell. This can counter, the dragon. Oh, actually the dragon is a 7 mana spell, so it can't even counter that. The Convoke Dragon. Okay, so let's cut now the Billy Rider. I think this is the least interesting card in my deck, but I don't think I'm gonna sideboard anything else for now. I might change that if this goes to game 3. Another quite decent hand here, actually. Inquisitor into the Progenitor. Oh, it's possible I'm gonna play this at... Oh yeah, definitely now I'm not going to even bother with this on turn 3 because I can play the Printing Champion. I do hope the Inquisitor stays alive, because that actually allows these incubators to become even larger thanks to the +1/+1 added there. Got my 4/4. So I'll just play my Printing Champion. I don't have anything with Convoke yet. But it's not like the opponent is really pressuring me with a 1/2 here either. And they got naturally, by the way, the 3 colors, so they didn't even need the Skittering Surveyor there. Okay, now already I have a flyer here, doing some damage because the ground starts to, become quite full of creatures, but I can continue for now with the air attacks, and then I can have this 4/4 to, block quite nicely. And I don't know if I'm gonna transform it. I don't think I'm gonna do it. Well, definitely I'm not, because it's already died. So I'm gonna take this damage here. I'm not blocking with the Inquisitor here, so I'm taking actually 5 here. Unless they're not like I'm taking 4 because they wanted to leave the 1/2 to block, which is weird because these guys have Vigilance, so why do they're definitely... if I double block this thing, they can trade with the Inquisitor, which is quite good for me. Okay, so now with all these lands, am I supposed to even not... wait until 7 mana? Could that make any sense? Make this into a 3-3 now, which is gonna block all these, have these up. I think I might get a little bit greedy here. There's no point. Actually, there is a point. I guess you can transform this multiple times. So let's say if on the opponent's turn I'm trying to transform this, and then they are responding to kill this, then I can transform it again. So I don't think there's no I don't need to, you know, make this vulnerable to sorcery speed removal by transforming it right now. I can do it in mid-combat. And, you know, keep them questing. Maybe they are now playing around counter spells or something like that. Because, of course, if they do respond to this transformation by killing the Inquisitor, it wouldn't get the counter. But I can just activate it once, you know, another time there. Okay, so let's do this now. See what happens, if anything. And then I'm going to block the token, because if I need to use the dispersal, I'd rather bounce the token than the thing with an ETB ability. And see what they're gonna do here now. So they're having that thing, which is exactly the reason why I did block the token. So I don't need the land. I don't really need the lifelinker, but I think that because I won't be playing the Exarch on the next turn, I maybe just have the lifelinker or a random card. You know, if I draw another land, I will have no play for the next turn, unless I want to play this with X, you know, with 2 tokens. But I mean, on the following turn, I'm gonna play this with even more tokens. Now, the 2-2 just doesn't do anything though in this board, so I'm actually going to mill also that and hope that I will draw a spell. You know, getting closer to my higher impact spells. That's the point here. Menace guy. Okay, well that happened now in a bad way here, but it's not much I can do about it. I don't think that I'm... Yeah, I mean, I'm going to play this on the next turn, because now I can only make 2 incubator tokens. I'm at 14, I can consider some double block here. I can just take the 4. Depends on if they have a battle or not. Of course, if they now have a removal spell, which they do, this is kind of miserable. Now, yeah, I'm taking here. I don't want to lose this Inquisitor because of this Exarch, so now I'm getting punished. I mean, if I now had the lifelinker, this would be so good, because I could just trade with the Coalition Knight, go to, and they couldn't even attack with the Surveyor, so that was a really now bad decision considering how things went. I maybe was supposed to play around another removal spell they might have there. Oh, by the way, they are playing double black card. It's not just a splash for black. They are just playing 3 colors here, because it's not easy to splash for a black spell. So this makes 3 3s. I mean, I'm taking here 7 if I don't block. And this is not gonna make the 3 3s on the next turn. Yeah, I think I have to. I mean, I guess I don't have to. Okay, I know now what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the 7, and I'm sadly going to not max out on this thing unless I draw something that changes my plan. But I can also... It's a knight. It's not a knight. Because what I can do, I can play just this so that I can transform 1 right away, and it will be a 4-4. That's what I can do. Okay, then. Because I don't really... Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to do it. Unfortunate, but oh well. I'm gonna still attack in the air. Please don't have more removal. That would be unfortunate. But yeah, I guess leaving this on top would have made things a lot different. I think I would have been able to play this with x equals 3 in that case. But let's see if they can deal with the Inquisition. If they can't, this will become another 4-4. And now their attacks won't be that good. And I'm still having some kind of a life buffer. Of course, this format includes burn spells that target opponent's face. But they didn't attack at all. So this is a good sign to me, I think. This is a knight, so I should do this before attacking. And then I'm also, oh, this is a knight too. Well, I'm not gonna attack with it, but I'm gonna attack with these guys. And then I have, the Elspeth's might waiting. They might just take 7, but I would be happy if they do. I'm also happy if they do that block there, and I'm not gonna use smite for that. Don't think I'm gonna use the smite for that. That's gonna, maybe now could be the time. Okay, now I'm gonna actually do it because they used, they killed this. I want my clock to still be quite fast here, so. Yep. Now I'm in a very decent shape here, after all. Okay, they have one of those again. A little bit flooded, but it's no big deal. I have this tapper here and all that, so I'm almost tempted to actually tap it right away. I think I'll still just offer a trade on the 4-4 here. I don't mind if they block with the slasher here. I still have a 4-4 and then I have an active tapper as well. I don't think I have any looting effect here, so there's no reason to keep lands in my hand. So now I can just tap the 2-2 and they don't have an attack. Well, I can actually tap that thing. Yep. So I'm going to just block the knight with my Inquisitor. Actually, not. I'm gonna block. I mean, if they attack, I can block with the 1-1 and the 1-2, and they concede it right away. I mean, I wasn't. Well, was I gonna beat them? They were tapped out. No, they actually weren't. They had one treasure token there and one card in hand, but let's assume this is nothing that they can use with this 1 mana. If I, on my turn, tap one of the blockers, now they can still not jump block the 4-4 and take only 4. They are not dead there, so I wouldn't do that. So I would attack with the 4-4 and the 2-2, I believe. They would trade with the 2-2. They would take the 4 or jump block. And then I can tap this. I guess, I mean, they just didn't think that they can have any top decks there. Because if I continue drawing just lands and they draw like one actual spell that impacts the board or kills my mage or marshal or something, I think they were in a position to still, win the game here. But they chose not to even see how the top decks are gonna go for each player. Alright, so that was it. My second draft of the format, and already got to 3-0. But of course, I still remember from this morning. So that round 1 was against a player who had like 60 something cards in their deck. That was kind of a free win almost. But also this deck was really good. Again, the same thing happened as in my first draft. I managed to find the colors that are really open. I have a lot of playables in the sideboard. I just, of course, wanted to cut it down to 40 cards, and there's no like an insane bomb, but there are some nice rares and just a very good mana curve and these high quality commons. The Breeding Champion with any Convoke stuff you might have. It's a really good combination. And this also was quite nice. Well, the Inquisitor is quite nice, but the Exarch did give me multiple things, I believe, more than once. I never actually, did I ever draw this thing? I don't recall having this, but this is very, I mean, the Vigilance is a significant upgrade to equipment. We have, of course, had many times cards with different names, colorless equipment that have mana value, or mana cost is 1 mana, 1 generic mana, and the equip is one generic mana. But this is, but that gave +1/+1 and not Vigilance. That's usually limited unplayable, just easily. But when you also get to have Vigilance on that effect, that's gonna make a big difference when you are raising, which limited often comes down to raising. You want to attack and block. Vigilance is maybe like one of the weakest keywords because it's not evasion like a flying on menace. It's not first strike that really makes it hard for the other creatures to engage in combat. Not lifelink is also very impactful if the opponent can attack with lifelinkers. But Vigilance is still significant when you get it for free. It's not really worth paying mana for. that much. But when you have kind of a good card that somehow also adds vigilance to something, that is always a worthwhile ability, and this I believe is going to be a playable card. I mean, unlike the cards that have this same stats but not granting vigilance. I guess we'll see when the format, well, I get more experience in the format. But my initial thought is that this is a card you are happy to have as a one-off in most of your white decks. Alright, so that's it. Nice deck, and I have now played a red-green deck and a blue-white deck, so let's see if I can play black decks at some point, but we will see, and I hope you come back to my next video, which will happen in a couple of days, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.